Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. I am bringing to you my 7th video in this series, Nuts and Bolts. It is the cutest set. If you've missed the other videos, definitely check out my playlist. I do have a playlist of the entire series, so definitely check out the Nuts and Bolts playlist and watch all the videos there. This is the most cutest set. I love it so much, and I've enjoyed working with it for an entire week. So it is a lot of fun. And I hope that you will enjoy all the projects that I've made with it. Today we are doing a really cute envelope with a cookie inside, and we're kind of decorating our envelope with this really adorable set of embossing folders called Dottie Hearts embossing folders. There's 2 folders in here and they're small. So I will show you how we go about doing the embossing. But let's go ahead and get started. We're also going to be using the banner Pick-a-Punch. So let me just show you that one right now. We're going to use this one here. And as you can see here on this word here, my nuts and bolts about you, I've already stamped out the words, and we're just going to do this end here. We want it to have a little flag end to it. So we're going to slide it in here. I'm going to slide it where I can see the words. And we're going to fit it into the punch here. And it follows that little channel, and when it gets to the end, we're going to give it a little punch, and it cuts that out. And you're like, why is this one red? Well, we're going to make our next cookie is not a pink one, and it doesn't say be mine. I'll show it to you. I got these at Target. They're super adorable, and this one is our hand-decorated sugar cookie, and it is a cute smiley face heart. Isn't it cute? So since this one was red, I decided to go with red with the black and white instead of the pink. So this one has the pink, this one has the red. That's why the word U is in red for this one. I'm gonna set this to the side. We'll use that in a few minutes. I can get this punch out of the way since that's all we were gonna use it for. I also have a couple more punches here that we're going to use. We have the heart and the scalloped heart. They are part of a punch bundle. So I'm going to open those up, and we're going to go ahead and punch a scalloped heart out. And we're also going to punch a solid heart out. And that's going to be out of black. So let me open that punch. Here we go. Stick that in. Give it a nice punch. So there's our red and black instead of our pink and black. I'm gonna go ahead and move these scraps out of my way. Close my punches. We will put them away. All right. Now, again, my little robot, I kind of matched him to the cookie. So I've stamped him out. Here's what he looks like. I stamped him on a piece of basic white cardstock, and then I colored him in, and I used real red. I used polished pink on this one, the light and the dark polished pink. And on this one, I used the light and the dark real red. So I cut him out. I also used the light and the dark smoky slate. The blends, when you purchase them, they come in a 2-pack. You get a light and a dark of each color. So I used the real red light and dark and the smoky slate light and dark. And that's what I used to color my robot. I went ahead and fussy cut him out so he's ready to go onto our card as well. So we're gonna onto an envelope as well. So we're gonna put him over here in the corner and get him out of the way. Set that to the side. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and put our cookie in its holder. Gonna move this stuff out of the way. I'm gonna use these embossing folders in a minute, but let's go ahead and get our cookie out. Gonna cut it open. We'll turn it around in here so that the point will be first. Okay, and we're going to use our gusseted bags. These are printed. Aren't they so cute? I love the little white sparkles is what I call them that are on there. And you get a big package. They're 3x9 printed gusseted cellophane bags, and you get 25 in the package. So it's a nice little amount. You could do a lot of food products in there, or candy, you know, even the covered candies work really well. So we're going to go ahead and stick our little heart in our bag. So let's get our bag open so it will be ready. And we'll put the point down here at the bottom. All right. Isn't that so cute? We're going to throw this away. Some lucky person is going to get that. So we are going to tie a bow, just like I did here, around this. And I'm tying actually a double bow. So I'm taking my black and white gingham, and this is my red sheer ribbon, and they should be the same length. I tried to cut them the same length. Yes, I did. All right, so see how cute that looks with the gingham behind that red sheer. Same thing with this one. This was our open weave ribbon, and it's this is the color of this is polished pink. And so I used that also behind it, which I thought was super cute. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cinch at the top here, and we're just gonna lay it down and hopefully be able to grab our ends here. It's always harder to tie on camera than it is when you're off camera. I don't know what it is about it. I guess you get nervous or something, but I'll do my best for you guys. Just bear with me and know that ribbon tying can be a little bit intimidating. Okay, so I'm gonna turn them so that both of the gingham pieces are on top. I'm gonna cinch that just like that. And then I want that gingham on the top when I tie my loops. So in order to do that, I have to turn this one so that the gingham is down, so that I put the loop with the gingham down. Because that way, when I press it through, the gingham is gonna be up. Just trust me. It's really what you have to do. So then you stick it through the hole, just like you're tying your shoe. And see, when you do that, then your gingham is up, and then you can just tighten it. And then there's your ends. Now, one does end up with the gingham in the back and the gingham in the front, but I just think that looks super cute, so I'm not really worried about it. My most important thing is the bow, and then I like to kind of separate them, and I think it looks really cute. So now our cookie's ready. We have these pieces. Let's go ahead and glue these two layers together. I'm going to use a wet adhesive, and it's called our multi-purpose glue. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get it layered on top, and I'm going to glue my little robot guy kind of like this to my heart, and I want this part of him to be flat against here, and then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of him as a unit. So he needs some on his antenna, this top ball, this part of his ear, and part of his face on an angle here. So we'll do his face on an angle. Come on, there we go. This antenna, that should be good. Whoa! It's quite a forgiving surface, thank goodness. So I'm just gonna kind of hold them in place here and get those adhesive pieces attached onto my heart. Just like that. All right, so now that's a unit. So what we're gonna do is we're going to get some dimensionals out. And I'm gonna put them on the back. Put one more in the middle here. And then we'll put some on him. That looks good to me. I'm gonna grab the minis. I'm gonna put one over here and one on the other side, kind of where they meet that little guy, and we'll put another one over here in this corner. And then I'm gonna do a half of a mini. I'm gonna cut it in half, and I'm gonna do that for the feet because it's too big to just do a whole one. So I will give each foot a half of a mini dimensional. And that should be good. Maybe one more in this corner because I don't want it to stick up. And one more right here. All right. So this is ready to be put onto our front whenever the time comes. So that's prepped. We're going to secure our nuts and bolts to the back. I might not have, should have put this one on yet. Let's hold that one. I'll put it right back on my dimensional pack, and we'll put some adhesive on here also. Gotta get it going. There we go. See, there, okay. I don't know if there's any down here. Let's drag it over here. I'm almost out, I think. All right. So this one we're going to put on an angle, kind of behind him a little bit, and right there, kind of sticking out from the heart. So we'll put that there. And then we can move that dimensional back. Good thing it didn't stick very good at first. I hadn't pushed it all the way down. And then we'll go ahead and put 2 there, and then I'm going to put 2 minis in those corners of the flag banner points. So now the whole piece is ready when it's time. The only thing it's missing is its ribbon. So let's go ahead and tie that. So when I tie a bow and I don't have anything to attach it to, this is how I tie it. I make 2 rabbit ears. I cross them. The little hole that's made when you cross them, I push the one that's in the front through that hole from the back to the front, and then I allow this foot here to, I let go of it. And then I pull that back, and see it's upside down in my hands, but I can turn it back around. I pull those through, just like that. Let me show you one more time. 2 rabbit ears, cross them, tuck the one that's in the front through this little hole. We're going to release that foot. We're going to pull, and then we're going to pull on these ends here, make them super cute. Keep making them small. I like small loops on my bows. Okay, so there's our cute bow, and it will wait to be attached until it's time. So we put it in the right place on our heart there, but this is ready. We're just going to set it off to the side off of camera for right now. We're going to make our envelope. So to make our envelope template, I'm going to give you all the dimensions here. So I'm going to put this over here in the corner. But to make our envelope template, I've used a 6 7/8 by 6 7/8 piece of cardstock. So how did I come up with that number? Well, I'm going to be using the Stampin' Up envelope punch board. And now this is retired. It's no longer available to purchase, but so many of my customers have it. It's made by We Are Memory Keepers, and they made it for Stampin' Up, and it's amazing. So if you don't have one, try and get yourself one because you will love it. But what I did was I measured my cookie, and my cookie was approximately a 4 by 4 inch square once, you know, I measured the 2 tops and the around. So I needed a 4 by 4 envelope. So I went down here and it says card size, and I went to 4 by 4, and it told me that my paper size needed to be 6 7/8 by 6 7/8. And it also told me that my score line was at the 3.5 inch mark. So what that means is when I put my paper in here, I'm going to line my paper up to the 3.5 inch mark, and I'm going to hold it there every time. So what you do is you trim your paper to the right size, which I have mine, 6 7/8 by 6 7/8. I'm going to put the corner at the 3.5 inch mark. I'm going to grab my folder that's in here. It actually is made to work with this board. And you see this score line here? This is my guide. And this is where I place my piece. And I'm going to score down this board with this point. So I'm going to put this at the at the 3.5 inch mark. Okay. I'm going to push this into this little hole. I'll show you from this side. There's a little hole there. Can you guys see it? There's a little hole there. So 3.5 inches. I'm going to put this in that hole, and when I pull it, it follows this mark right here. It just follows that right into that hole. So you just kind of stick it in that hole and you follow that line, okay? And once you've done your score, you're going to push this button and it's going to punch a little notch. See these envelopes? It says the final result looks like this. See these notches? So that's making that notch for me. There it is. I'm going to rotate it one turn. I'm going to put it at the 3.5 inch mark. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to follow this score mark up and back. Press, turn it, 3.5 inch mark. One more time for the last side, 3.5 inch mark. Put this at its score mark, follow it up to that hole, give it a punch. And this is what I have. See, there's the final result. So this is my envelope. Now I want to round these points. I don't want them to be so stark. I want them to be rounded. So there's a section here. See, this is what punched out those little notches. So those are out of the way. But there's a section here to reverse punch. So I'm going to stick the points in and I'm going to punch. It rounds it. See the point and the rounded? I'm going to do that to all of these. I'm going to put them in there. So now I have rounded points. There's my little corner round pieces. These are the notches. Okay. To the trash they go, and that's all I need this piece for. Now, I'm gonna score these in. I'm gonna use my bone folder. I'm gonna score these in. And then this piece comes from the bottom. Now, I want to stick this piece of DSP inside here, and I want it to cover that back edge. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna stick it in here, and I'm gonna pull it so that it's just right there to that rounded edge, okay? And I'm gonna take a pencil and I'm gonna line it up as best I can. Let me make sure that it's lined up on both sides. And it is. And that it's past that part there. Good. And I'm just gonna trace around my cardstock. Okay. And then I'm gonna slide it out, and I'm gonna use my paper snips. And I'm gonna do my very best. You know, we're not always perfect at cutting, but we do our best, right? So I'm just gonna do my best to follow that line. All the way around. All right, so there is my liner. So I'm gonna slip this in and we'll glue it on in a minute. We're gonna do these pieces first, but I wanted to have it ready to go once we were done, okay? So I'm gonna slide it out. I'm gonna save these two little corners just in case I need a small piece for a card. And we are going to use the Dottie embossing folder. Here they are. We're going to use this outlined one. See how cute that is? It's adorable. And what we are going to do is we are going to open it up and we're going to line it up with each piece and then we're going to run it through the die cut machine. And we are going to cut the 3 sides. All right, and so that I will remember which is my 3 sides, I'm just going to mark them with a pencil. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to put a little mark on them. That's the one that's going to stay up, but I'll have to move it to get it through the machine. You'll see in a minute. But I want to mark those 3 sides because remember, I already cut my piece to match that top flap, and so I don't want to mess that up. So let's bring in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It is rather large, so just bear with me as we use it. We're going to grab plate number 1, and it says here to insert embossing folders, a standard embossing folder, which is what the Dottie hearts are. If it was a 3D embossing folder, it would say 3D, and it isn't. It just says Dottie Hearts embossing folder. It doesn't say 3D. Let me show you a 3D one. This is what the 3D ones say. They say 3D. So that one's not a 3D folder. So we're going to take number 1 and then 2 number 3s. So we're going to put number 1, number 2, number 3 here, 1 and a 3. There's the 3. Then we're going to put the little folder in here. We're going to line it up with the edge of our embossing plate here. Okay, and when we have it where we want it, we're going to turn these pieces in. We're going to lay it on our plate here. We're going to put our other number 3 on top. This is the cutting end, the cutting plate, but it doesn't matter which one goes on top when you do this because it's not actually doing any cutting, it's just embossing it. So we're going to run that one through. Okay. I'll show you when I pull it out. See how it has that really pretty embossed piece on this? We're going to do the same thing to this side now. Okay, so that one has the number 1. I'm going to go ahead and erase that. You know, I marked it with a little. Now this one has a little mark on it, so I know that that's one that needs it. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to line it up with the edge of our plate. And we're going to turn these in, put them in our machine, and we will line up our top plate, hold it there, and we're going to crank it through the other way this time. We'll do that one more time. Okay. So let's erase the mark that I made there. We have one more to go, this one. So this is the last one that needs to be done. So let's line it up in the folder. It's well worth it to have this embossing on here. I just think it's pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and erase it now since I know this is my last one. We're gonna line it up on the edge there. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna turn these 2 pieces in, or I'm gonna try to. There we go. We're gonna lay it down. Place our plate on top and crank it through one more time. All right. That's all the embossing we're going to be doing. So there is the 3rd one. And then the one without it is the one we're going to use for the top. So here are our 3 pieces that we will attach together. Isn't it cute? So let's go ahead and put the Dottie embossing folder back in its folder. will put the machine out of camera. Hopefully I'm not shaking the camera. I probably am, but I apologize if I am. Now we are going to use this little scrap paper here, and we are going to emboss, not emboss, over the embossed area, we're gonna sponge some ink. I really want those little dotted hearts to show, so I'm just rubbing this in my ink pad. This is a blending brush. They come in a 3-pack. They're really fun. I'm gonna get rid of a large amount of ink, and then I'm just gonna come across here and I'm just gonna darken over those dots so that they stand out. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And I just needed that scrap paper there so that I wouldn't get it on my work surface. And then let's do the last side here. And this just makes those dotted hearts really stand out. See how much it stands out now? So we're gonna turn those in like that, and you just see it so much better. So that's just a little pop. This is Coastal Cabana, which is the color of our cardstock. And the blending brushes are in my online store. Let's grab that scrap piece, move that out of the way. Okay, we're gonna glue this puppy together so that we can have our cute little cookie inside. We're gonna, actually, let's go ahead and attach our liner. So this is gonna get glued right down over the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and put adhesive on this whole back. And we will use our seal adhesive. All right, hopefully that's plenty. It is very sticky, so I have to be real careful when I lay it down that I have it lined up perfectly. So we will make sure before I press that our piece is lined up as best we can. And I think that looks pretty good. And it doesn't matter that it doesn't go all the way in. The piece that I've used for the liner is 4.5 inches by 6 inches. This is a 6-inch paper pack that I used, but it doesn't matter because you can't see that far into the sleeve that you miss that. See, there's that white, that one's white against it. And so you can't really tell, right? So we just want it to have a little pop of color behind that cookie, which is the whole point. So then these are gonna get turned in. And then this is going to be on the top. I just think it's the cutest. So flap on the right goes first. I'm going to put the cookie there because I don't want to close it too tight. Oh, I should have let a little bit of air in. There I did. Okay. I thought, uh-oh, I put too much and I'm not going to be able to glue it. So I'm going to glue these 2 points here together first. I'm going to use the wet adhesive for this. So it's our multi-purpose glue. I'm just going to put a little dab there. And I'm just going to hold it for a second. Now, if it was for a card, it would cover a lot farther. But because this is like 3-dimensional, it's thick, it does cover. It just barely makes it on there. So we're definitely going to put plenty of adhesive on this part here. So I'm going to run that along these pieces here and along this. I like to use the wet adhesive when I'm applying anything over a piece that's been embossed because it really grabs and it kind of like seeps into those nooks and crannies of the embossed parts. And so I'm going to hold this point here, and then I'm going to press this down. I'm actually going to pull the cookie out now. Well, no, I better not. Not yet. I thought I had gotten it all the way down on the top, but it wasn't quite yet. I'm going to just press this with my finger. I'm going to do the same thing here and just kind of hold it. Give it a second to grab. It doesn't take too long for this glue to grab. I'm also going to stick my hand in here and press it. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to stick my fingers in there and press it. Once this is secure, it's going to have the height that you need for your cookie to slide in. So it's okay to then stick your fingers in to help the other seams adhere. All right, guys, we are on the down low. This is a really cute project. All right. So now our cookie goes inside. Look how cute, those little eyes peeking out. We want to attach our little piece on here. We've already done all the hard work, right? So let's go ahead and use our Take Your Pick tool. We're gonna pull these backs off. And I'm gonna purge after that, and we'll grab a couple more. Want to get them all off, but we'll just work our way around a little at a time. Come on. All right, and let's finish up the last of these. These two little halves. Did I get that one? That one's kind of hard to get off because it's a half. All right, now I have them all off. Perfect. We're going to attach our little robot onto our card here, onto our envelope, and just kind of position him. Let me show you the other one so you guys can see. Just want to position him, and you want this to kind of go off a little bit to the side, like that. I'm going to press all of those dimensionals down. I'm going to actually bring my hand in here and make sure they're all nice and secure. Even the little feet. We can push the cookie back in. And now we're going to attach the ribbon. So I'm going to use a mini glue dot. I love that to adhere ribbon. We're going to grab this end, and I'm actually going to use this tip to ball it up. And then I'm going to stick that little ball behind the knot. So I'm going to show you, there is the knot, and we're going to put that right on there. Pull that away. And then I'm going to press that knot in this corner here of the heart. And then we're going to grab my ribbon scissors. I have to pull those out. They're not out. I forgot to pull them out, but they're right here in the drawer next to me. I have a little dangle that I keep on my ribbon scissors so that I know they're ribbon scissors. And I'm going to trim my ribbon right there and maybe right there. That looks good. We'll get rid of those. And then for a finishing touch, we're going to put some embellishments. I love to add a little bit of bling onto whatever projects that I'm doing. It just makes it much more fun. So since we used red, we're going to use the red basic rhinestone jewels here. They come in a package. You get 220 of those on there. And then we're also going to add some black matte dots to tie in the black. And these, you get 160 in the package. So you get plenty of these little guys to use. This one wanted to pop out, so let's use it first. Let me grab my Take Your Pick tool here and get it. Let me put it back on there. That one definitely wanted to play though. It jumped right out at me. So I'm going to push it down. Make sure that it's nice and secure. Let's grab another one. We'll put that one over here. Make sure it's nice and secure. We'll do one more up here. I'm going to put my finger in there. Let's pull the cookie out for a minute and make sure it's nice and secure. All right, that's it for black. And let's go ahead and do the red. I did pink, polished pink from these In Color jewels, which are really cute on the polished pink one, but we're going to use the real red basic rhinestones for this, and we'll put these on the heart where they'll really pop because they're so cute, right? Look at how sparkly they are. Let's see if I can put one up here. And then I'm gonna put a third one of these because they're just so cute and sparkly right on the heart there. I think those turned out good. What do you guys think of this project? I think it's adorable. So don't forget to use this adorable nuts and bolts stamp set. I absolutely love it, and I hope that you do too. Thank you for sticking with me throughout this video. I know that it wasn't the shortest, but I hope that if you made it to the end, you thought it was worth it. I am very grateful to have you here on my channel and watching me, so I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm kind of new to YouTube, I guess. Less than 4 months or so I've been on here. So if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate that. Give me a comment. If there's anything you would like to see, let me know, and I would be happy to do that for you. Also, subscribe so that you can get notifications of when I post new videos, and share my content with your friends. I'm greatly appreciative if you do that and help me get my channel going. Definitely check out my blog. I do blog 3 days a week, so check out inkyhandswarmhearts.com. I will link it in the description below. And thank you so much for watching. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!